Keanu Reeves is kicked out with a punch by the car dealership manager. What he does next will shock you. Imagine walking into a store where you're judged not by who you are, but by what you're wearing. That's exactly what happened to one of the world's most beloved actors. But the way Keanu handled this humiliation not only left everyone stunned, it sparked a movement. Stick around to hear the full, shocking story that proves kindness can turn even the darkest moments into something extraordinary. Picture a crisp Los Angeles morning, the city humming with life under a vast blue sky. Amid the bustling streets, Keanu Reeves, clad in a simple leather jacket and worn jeans, walks with the ease of someone who values simplicity over spectacle. His unassuming demeanor contrasts sharply with the admiring glances he receives from passers-by. Keanu greets the day with a quiet smile, occasionally pausing to acknowledge fans with a wave or a kind word. But today isn't just another day. For months, Keanu has been on a personal mission. He's searching for something meaningful, a rare car, one with a story to tell. Not for himself, but as part of a project close to his heart, blending his love for vehicles with a deeper purpose. After grabbing his usual coffee at a local cafe, he sets his sights on a dealership known for its luxurious and exclusive inventory. Little does he know, this visit will test not only his patience, but also his character in ways he never anticipated. Keanu arrives at the dealership, its glass facade gleaming under the California sun. Inside, the showroom feels like a different world, one where wealth and status are flaunted in every detail. The marble floors shine like mirrors, reflecting the polished curves of exotic cars worth more than most homes. The air is thick with the scent of new leather and a sense of exclusivity. As Keanu steps inside, his modest attire, a worn leather jacket, faded jeans, and sneakers, seems out of place among the tailored suits and designer dresses of the other customers. Employees glide through the showroom, their attention fixed on those who exude wealth. Keanu takes in the space, his eyes landing on a car tucked in the back corner. A rare vintage model that seems to radiate timeless elegance. It's exactly what he's been searching for. With quiet determination, Keanu approaches a salesman who is distracted, scrolling through his phone. "Excuse me," Keanu begins politely. "Could you tell me more about that car?" The salesman glances up briefly, his expression unreadable, before muttering, "Hang on, I'll get someone." He walks off without another word, leaving Keanu standing alone. Undeterred, Keanu moves closer to the car, studying its details, but he can't ignore the subtle shift in the atmosphere. Whispers ripple through the staff, their glances sharp with judgment. Though Keanu remains calm, the tension in the air is unmistakable. As Keanu examines the car, the whispers around him grow louder, laced with skepticism and disdain. Employees exchange glances, murmuring things like, "Does he even know how much that car costs?" And, "Why's he even here? He doesn't look like he can afford this." Keanu hears it all but keeps his composure, focusing on the car's intricate details. Moments later, a man with a commanding presence strides toward him. It's Richard, the dealership manager. His crisp suit and sharp gaze make it clear he's in charge, but his demeanor carries an air of condescension. "Looking for something?" Richard asks, his tone bordering on dismissive. Keanu nods, gesturing toward the car. "Yes, I'm interested in this model. Could you tell me more about it?" Richard raises an eyebrow, his eyes scanning Keanu's attire as though calculating his worth. "You do realize this is a rare, high-end model? It's not for just anyone," Richard says, his voice dripping with skepticism. Keanu, ever calm, replies, "I understand. That's why I'd like to learn more about it." Richard lets out a dry chuckle, folding his arms. "Look, let me save you some time. This car is worth more than most people make in a lifetime. It's not exactly something you just browse around for." The air grows heavy as the employees around them pause to watch the exchange. Keanu tilts his head slightly, his calm demeanor unwavering. I see. Well, I'd still appreciate the details, he says, his voice steady but firm. Richard steps closer, his tone sharpening. Let's be honest here. People like you come in, take a look, maybe snap a picture for social media, and then leave without buying anything. So unless you're serious, I suggest you stop wasting my time. The tension peaks, and the atmosphere becomes almost suffocating. Keanu looks at Richard, his expression calm yet resolute. Funny, Keanu says quietly. I always thought respect was free. Maybe I'm in the wrong place for that. The words hang in the air, cutting through the hostility like a knife. The tension in the dealership is palpable, with every eye fixed on Keanu and the manager, Richard. Richard's jaw tightens, his pride clearly bruised by Keanu's composed but cutting words. Taking a step forward, Richard lowers his voice, but not his hostility. Listen, buddy, I've been doing this job long enough to spot a time waster when I see one. People like you don't belong here. Keanu stands his ground, his calm demeanor unshaken. People like me? He asks, raising an eyebrow. His voice is even, but the weight behind his words is unmistakable. What exactly do you mean by that? Richard scoffs, gesturing toward Keanu's worn leather jacket and jeans. Come on, let's not play games. You don't fit the profile of someone who can afford a car like this. Why don't you take your little window shopping trip somewhere else? For a brief moment, the room falls silent, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Employees and customers alike hold their breath, waiting to see how Keanu will respond. Keanu steps back slightly, his eyes locked on Richard's. You know, he begins softly, the way you treat people says a lot more about you than it does about them. Richard, unable to contain his frustration, steps closer, his voice rising. Don't lecture me. I don't have time for this nonsense. Then, in a moment of pure arrogance and poor judgment, Richard raises his hand as though to push Keanu back. Or worse. But before the gesture can escalate, Keanu moves with a quiet, controlled precision. He intercepts Richard's hand mid-air, holding it firmly but without aggression. The action is calm, deliberate, and yet it carries an unmistakable strength. The room collectively gasps as Richard freezes, his bravado crumbling under Keanu's unflinching gaze. Keanu's voice is steady, low, but brimming with authority. The anger you're showing isn't about me. Maybe you should take some time to figure out what it's really about before taking it out on others. He releases Richard's hand with deliberate ease, stepping back. Richard stumbles slightly, his face flushed with embarrassment and fury. Keanu adjusts his jacket, his voice carrying across the now silent showroom. Respect shouldn't be reserved for the rich or powerful. It should be for everyone. Maybe that's something this place needs to learn. Without another word, Keanu turns and walks toward the exit. The sound of his footsteps echoes through the stunned silence, leaving Richard and everyone else frozen in place. The door swings shut behind him, but the impact of his words and actions lingers like an undeniable force. Outside the dealership, Keanu walks away, his calm demeanor intact despite the humiliation he's just endured. But what Richard and the staff don't realize is that someone inside the showroom has recorded the entire incident. A young man, standing discreetly in the corner with his phone, captured every moment. The insults, the confrontation, and most importantly, Keanu's composed response. By the time Keanu reaches home, the video has already begun to circulate on social media. The young man uploads it with the caption, "Even Keanu Reeves can't escape the arrogance of some people. Respect shouldn't have a price tag." The clip quickly gains traction, shared by fans and strangers alike. Comments pour in, filled with outrage at the way Keanu was treated and admiration for how he handled the situation. How can anyone treat Keanu Reeves like this? The man is a legend and one of the kindest people alive. One comment reads. Another says, this isn't just about Keanu. It's about how some people think they can treat others based on appearance or wealth. Shameful. Within hours, the video goes viral, trending across platforms. News outlets pick up the story, highlighting the stark contrast between Keanu's humility and the manager's arrogance. Headlines like, Keanu Reeves stands tall against prejudice at luxury dealership dominate social media feeds. Memes flood the internet, many featuring Keanu's powerful words. Respect shouldn't be reserved for the rich or powerful. It should be for everyone. Meanwhile, the dealership finds itself under siege. Their social media pages are inundated with negative reviews and angry comments. This is disgusting behavior. I'll never step foot in this place, one post declares. Others call for boycotts and demand the manager's resignation. Employees anonymously come forward, confirming that Richard's behavior wasn't an isolated incident. He's always treated people like this, one staff member reveals. It doesn't matter who you are. If you don't fit his idea of wealthy, you're dismissed. Richard attempts to defend himself, issuing a statement that only worsens the situation. The events have been misrepresented, he claims. I didn't recognize Mr. Reeves at the time and meant no disrespect. The public isn't buying it. The backlash intensifies, with clients canceling orders and severing ties with the dealership. Amid the chaos, Keanu remains silent, choosing not to comment publicly. But the world continues to speak for him. The incident becomes a rallying cry for respect and inclusivity, sparking conversations about prejudice in high-end spaces and beyond. A hashtag begins to trend. Our respect is luxury. What started as a moment of disrespect has now become a global movement, and Keanu Reeves, without even trying, has once again inspired the world. As the viral video continues to dominate headlines and social media, Keanu quietly reflects on the events that unfolded. Sitting in his modest home, surrounded by books, a motorcycle helmet, and photos of past projects, he replays the situation in his mind. He doesn't feel anger, but a sense of responsibility. This isn't about me, he tells a close friend over the phone. It's about how often people are judged by their appearance, status, or wealth. That needs to change. Keanu decides to act, not out of revenge, but to turn the negative experience into something meaningful. He begins researching dealerships with a reputation for valuing people over profits. One name stands out, a family-owned dealership known for treating every customer with kindness and respect, regardless of their background. It's nothing like the opulent showroom he visited earlier, but something about its simplicity resonates with him. A few days later, Keanu visits the humble dealership. The atmosphere is warm and welcoming, with staff greeting every customer with genuine smiles. The owner, a middle-aged man named Sam, approaches Keanu with an outstretched hand. "Welcome. How can I help you today?" Sam asks. Keanu smiles, appreciating the sincerity in the man's voice. "I'm looking for something special," he replies. "A car with history, something I can restore and use for a greater purpose." Sam nods thoughtfully, leading Keanu to a selection of vehicles. There, among the lineup, Keanu finds it, a vintage model with a timeless design. It's not polished to perfection like the ones in the luxury dealership, but it has character, a story waiting to be told. Keanu runs his hand along the car's body, feeling an immediate connection. "This is the one," he says. As they finalize the details, Keanu shares his vision with Sam, restoring the car and auctioning it for charity to raise funds for initiatives promoting respect and equality. Sam is moved by the idea, and the two men shake hands, sealing the deal not just as a transaction, but as a partnership in something bigger. Before leaving, Keanu takes a photo with Sam and the dealership staff, a gesture of appreciation for their kindness. He posts the photo on social media with a simple caption: "True luxury isn't in the price tag, it's in how we treat each other. Thank you for reminding me of that." The post goes viral, further amplifying the message of respect and inclusivity. Keanu's decision to seek out this small, humble dealership turns his story into one of redemption, hope, and transformation. The car he's purchased is more than just a vehicle now. It's a symbol of what's possible when we choose kindness over judgment. The world watches as Keanu's story takes a remarkable turn. The photo of him at the small, family-owned dealership becomes a symbol of humility and integrity. People are inspired by the way Keanu turned a moment of humiliation into an opportunity to uplift others. His simple yet powerful caption, "True luxury isn't in the price tag, it's in how we treat each other," sparks a global conversation. A few weeks later, Keanu's restored car is unveiled at a charity auction. The sleek, vintage beauty gleams under the spotlight, but it's not the car itself that captivates the audience. It's the story behind it. Keanu takes the stage, standing in front of a packed room filled with philanthropists, car enthusiasts, and fans. His voice is calm but filled with conviction. "This car is more than just a machine," he says. "It represents something we often forget. Respect and kindness are priceless, and they can transform lives." The auction begins, and the bids quickly soar. By the end of the night, the car sells for millions, with all proceeds going toward charities that promote equality, inclusion, and dignity for underserved communities. The moment is celebrated worldwide, with media outlets praising Keanu's ability to turn a personal challenge into a powerful movement. Meanwhile, the original dealership where the incident occurred continues to face fallout. The viral video, coupled with Keanu's inspirational actions, has left them in a state of disarray. Customers have abandoned them, and their reputation is in shambles. Richard, the disgraced manager, is fired, and the company releases a public apology, though it does little to repair the damage. But Keanu remains focused on the positive. His actions inspire a ripple effect, with other celebrities, influencers, and businesses joining the conversation about respect and inclusion. Campaigns emerge, urging companies to prioritize customer dignity over superficial judgments. The hashtag #RespectAsLuxury trends for weeks, uniting people across the globe in a shared mission to create a kinder, more inclusive world. Keanu's story doesn't end with the auction. The funds raised from the car support initiatives that give underprivileged individuals access to education and resources, ensuring the message of respect endures long after the viral moment fades. The car itself becomes a symbol of hope, its story shared at events and museums as a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can lead to extraordinary change. In the end, Keanu Reeves doesn't just teach the world about respect. He shows it. His humility, resilience, and determination transform a moment of prejudice into a powerful legacy of compassion and dignity. The story of Keanu Reeves and the car dealership is more than just a viral moment. It's a reminder that respect is the real currency of humanity. From being humiliated in a showroom to transforming that experience into a global movement, Keanu showed the world that kindness and dignity have the power to inspire change. His ability to stay calm under pressure and use his platform for good turned a moment of injustice into a symbol of hope. As the camera pans to a final shot of the restored car, now a beacon for respect and inclusion, Keanu's voice rings out, "Respect doesn't cost a thing, but it's worth everything. Let's strive to treat each other better, not because of who we are, but because it's the right thing to do." And with that, the video comes to a close. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, like and subscribe for more inspiring videos. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a sense of hope and a call to action to carry the message forward in their own lives.